Good morning. It is day 6 of 30 days of sewing every day for an hour, and we are going to continue with the pants. Today has been so much cooler than yesterday. I could actually think straight. Yesterday was not as effective, and last night it actually cooled down a lot, and this morning there was mist everywhere. We are like on the, I think we're like less than 20 kilometers away from the coastline, and it's on a plain. So when the cool air comes in from the coast, it literally forms like a cloud cover and mist over this whole area, and it is beautiful. So we've had a little bit of mist rain this morning, not enough to cool everything down, but enough to just make sure that I can breathe properly and can think properly. So I spent my morning in the sewing room, and I finished this, and I love it. It was a skirt, and I changed it by unpicking some parts and using some other parts. I'll make a video about it. And yeah, I was inspired by the yarn tops that I really love, and so I've been wanting one, but I'm not going to pay those prices, and you can't even find them here in South Africa. So I took the skirt apart and I cut out this little top. I'm just going to put it on over this one so you can see. It is so pretty and so whimsical. And I gave it an elastic at the top. I just find elastics are easier. And also then I can adjust it as I need. And I love that it's flowy, and yeah, I love everything about it. So I did do this one. And oh, let's take this off. And then last night I put these pants in the wash. I used this blue marker. You buy them everywhere. I think I still got this one at Joann's when Joann's was still going. Good morning. Thank you, Becky. And the problem with these ones, please remember it when you work with white things. I know it's happened to me in the past, where if you don't use water, or if you leave them on it for too long, oh, I spilled coffee on here, then it makes marks. So I did try and wash the pants to get the, because I realized the pants was really dirty, but also to get out the marks, the blue marks, and it turned brown. And it's happened to me before, so I hope I can get it out. I think I might have to like take a pin and just pin some jig on it. Oh, thank you. I can't remember what your name is. Even So's. I know you've said it to me last time. I think it was Barbara. Just put your name again if you want, because I would like to call you by name, but if you don't want to, it's also fine. Hi, Ruth, and hi, Diane. Oh, thank you. No, you haven't missed anything yet. Debbie, hi, Debbie. Oh, yes, there's Debbie from Deb's, no, there's Debbie, and then there's you are also Debbie. Perfect. I must actually make a note. So these pants, I'm using this pattern. It is the Vogue 9008. Let's see if I can get it in. And I just cut that one longer, and I'm going to give it elastic at the back. And so, like I said, those blue pens, they sometimes make marks, and I forgot. And then I put this in the wash on gentle, but look what happened. So I've been going in and just cutting everything straight, but it's not, I still have a few to do. But let's just continue. I've also pinned some things in place. So the first thing we're going to do is, I'm still going to put in belt carriers, because I would like to wear it with a nice brown belt. I first have to cut this straight and just cut off all the frimmels from the wash. Okay. What are you guys working on this morning? So when I want to turn this around, I've sewed it there, and then I just go in and I open it like that, and then I start by just making a little hollow. And oh, laundry, oh yeah, that's yuck. Luckily we're sharing a home with my sister. She loves doing laundry, so It is really so nice because I do the laundry when I feel like it, and the rest of the time when I see again the laundry is done. So it's actually really nice. Uh, but I remember when I was on my own, it was the bane of my existence. And then I just push it. So that extra little bit that I sewed, I'll just cut it off afterwards. You did cut out the sweatshirt, Diane. I'm so proud of you. Yay! Okay. Ooh, I've been dreaming of an air threader overlocker. I don't struggle with threading my overlocker. It's just tedious. So, oh, you're lucky to have one of those. This fabric is quite sticky. Okay. I always have like pieces of carpet with the rubber at the bottom, and then I can, when I do like this, then I can just put the knitting needle on there, because that sharp point can, another way of getting hurt in your sewing room, it can slide off your table and go into your leg. Don't ask me how I know. Maybe I should use a thicker needle, because this one is quite thin. I think it's like a size 2, but I only have the one. It was still one of my grannies. So we'll just continue wiggling this. Yeah, some fabrics are easier, like satin. Flipping that around is really easy, and like a smooth cotton, but this has got a lot of texture, and that makes it more tricky. And so after I spoke to you guys yesterday, I actually, oh, grocery shopping. Oh, Debbie, I feel for you. I need to, when we're done here, because it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still need to go to the shops. We are out of eggs, and what was the other thing I need to get? There's a few, it's like 3 things. I will ask my sister what it was we were supposed to get. Oh, yogurt, yeah. And there was something else. But I cannot remember for the life of me. I know we did write it on our board. So, yeah, I feel for you with the shopping. Yeah, and the thing with shopping is, I'm just going to sit on the ball, because I find sitting on my Pilates ball is so much less stressful on my hips. Oh, there we go. I'll try not to bounce while we're talking, because I know I get seasick when people do that. My other sister, she's got this thing where she wiggles her leg. We all have a bit of an ADD thing, and if I sit in front of her and her legs going up and down like this, oh, I get seasick. I literally feel like I'm going to throw up. So I'll sit still while I'm sitting on the ball. So what I do is, when I do things where I can just sit, because sitting on the ball and trying to sew is not very effective, but doing this type of thing is not a problem on the ball. Oh, Becky. Yeah, it's hard. And I don't know about you, but I try not to be mean, but I get to a point where I'm just so over it. It's like, please just keep your leg still. Or what I will do is I'll turn my back on her and talk to her like over my shoulder. And she's learned now when I do that, oh, the leg. Sure. That's a lot younger. Yeah, my brother is 6 years younger than us, and is 10 years younger than my older sister. So, yeah, that laat, in Afrikaans we call them a laat lammetjie. So it's like a late lamb. Do you get along well with your sister? Going to beat this thing. It shouldn't be this hard. Does anybody have an idea of how to do this easier? I would really be interested. I mean, this is like pulling teeth. Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes it difficult because your values are different and the way you think and all of that makes it a lot different. Now, we all grew up in the same house, so that helped. But also what I see is the way my parents raised us and the way my parents raised my brother. So I've just cut this end off now. And now I'm going to keep on wiggling until I've got everything through. And it's still a mission. The way my brother was raised, yeah, it's completely, not completely, but it's a lot different. Now I shouldn't use my teeth. I'm not giving up. Ugh. Hi, Ingrid. From Malt. From where, I don't know, have you been to the live sessions before? I don't recognize your name. It almost sounds like a South African surname. For those of you who are new, is maybe put where you are from so everybody can see if you want. You don't really, over here, you don't have to do anything. So I'm from South Africa. I'm going to start, and I live in Cape Town now. And if you ever come to Cape Town, please, my email is always in my description box. Email me and let's find a way of meeting up. I would love that. I always love meeting new people or old friends that I haven't met yet. That's always fun. So I'm busy flipping over the belt ties for my pants. I'm working on Vogue Easy 9008. And I've cut it longer, so it's long pants. And I'm really excited about getting these in my wardrobe. Oh, Kloof in KZN. So that's in close to Durban, isn't it? Or it's like one of the cities in Durban, or what do you call it? What's it? Oh, I can't talk today. South Carolina, very first 18 years I was upstate New York on a dairy farm. I live in a city now, okay, on Bex. Yeah, Kloof is very beautiful. I remember visiting there. It's in Natal, close to Durban, if I remember right. And I remember visiting there like in my final year at school. And I was so impressed with that area. It's like lush and green and oh my goodness. But there, I've seen the biggest black mamba in my life. I didn't know they could get that big. I hope you don't meet them often, Ingrid. Okay, yes, 35 kilometers from Durban. It's a beautiful area. And then Diane, you are from Erlanger, KY. That's KY isn't that Kansas, if I remember right? Across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. KY. Yeah, where is KY? That was something I found interesting, you know, like figuring out, oh, Kentucky, okay. Figuring out which letter stands for which state. I'm going to beat this thing. I'm almost there. Ugh. Canada, Arizona, I'm in Arizona, USA. That is Debbie. Ruth, you are from Nova Scotia, Canada. And oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's so awesome. You're literally from all over the United States. And I have a fellow South African. That always makes me excited. I sometimes feel like I'm on an island in, in the sewing YouTube world, because there's not a lot of South Africans that I've met that actually have YouTube channels. Oh no, I've got a big knot here now. I'm gonna get it right. all else fails, use your teeth. And your dentist might not be happy with you. Especially made it wider so I won't have this problem. But apparently it's not enough. So, this is the thing. When I make videos, I don't always, you know, it's like you just put the best parts or you fast forward and it looks like it's so fast to sew. But you, all of you know that. You all are sewers. So you look at these videos and like the shorts and it looks so fast and so easy. And then you start making it. And it takes you a day and a half or even more. And at one stage you question your life choices because it takes so long. Okay, I must say this fabric is beautiful, but it is not a fun fabric to work with. I actually broke this one, my normal pull-through thing, by trying to do this. And then I thought, okay, no, the ring came off at the back of it. Then I thought, okay, I'll use the knitting needle. But yeah, I think it's this fabric. It's not me. They do make things look like it's so quick. Oh, thank you, Diane. So we were telling everybody where we are from, and I know we've done it before, but I see these new people. There's Ingrid from South Africa. I must say, Debbie, me too. And yeah, we're just saying where we're all from. And then I finished this top. This was a skirt that I turned into a little top. I was inspired. Oh, my nail broke. So this is another thing. Shouldn't do, but I do it. If my nail's got a little hook, I should actually keep a emery board here. There we go. I just cut it off. North Carolina, USA. Yeah. So, oh, it's still hooking. So I finished this. It was a skirt, and I turned it into a little top inspired by a specific Dion top, which I think is beautiful. Ingrid, sorry, things look quick and easy to do. I thought it was just me. I like to watch the Great British Sewing Bureau. I don't know how they cut things out and sew it in an hour or two. Me too. Especially the intricate things they do, but I think they sew it faster than an hour or two. I think like the upcycle one is an hour or two, but the rest is a bit more than an hour. But yeah, I also look at it and I'm like, how do you do that? So we can now, the band has been, oh my cotton is knotted. How does this happen? Oh, okay. The carriers, oh, thank you, Diane. The carriers are like this. I'm gonna iron it afterwards. At least that's done now. And now we can get to the pants. But I need to get off the Pilates ball because you're looking for an accident. If you're trying to sew on a Pilates ball, that then as soon as you lift your foot, the ball will throw you off. So I've pinned my waistbands in place, and I've went ahead yesterday after I said goodbye and sewed the inside leg. Oh, hello, Valley. Come here. Come up. Oh, Valley was in the daycare today, so he just got home. Hey. Come, get down. Good boy. Okay, who's this? Dante Dreams. Sewing has always been on my mind and list, but not sure if I will love it. I want to buy a sewing machine, but my husband says you will not like it. Why don't you get a second-hand sewing machine? Because if it's on your mind, you know what? It's what is your goal? So if your goal is to make your own clothes, then even if you don't like the process, you will persevere because you want the end result. So I would say go for it. Get a sewing machine, a second-hand one. See if you like it, and if you do, then upgrade to a better one. Because what I love about sewing is that it is so rewarding. And if you start, don't go for all the fancy fabrics. Go and buy some quilter's cotton and make some pajama pants. It's the easiest thing to do, and it looks really intricate and looks really as if you know what you're doing, and people think you are so cool. And then from there, because with that you learn how to put elastic in, you learn how to sew straight, and then from there you can do the next thing and the next thing. I don't think you ever will feel sad that you didn't start sewing. And the other thing is, you're not going to know if you like it unless you try. The other option is to find a sewing teacher who's got a sewing machine and just go there for lessons and make one thing, and then from there you can decide if you really don't like it, you never have to do it again. I know on Craftsy there's beginner sewing things, and I know there's, if you go into look Sewing 101, there's a few people who talk about it. Yeah, that's a good idea, Diane. If you have a friend who would let you borrow one or help you sew, then if you like it, get one. Your mom-in-law has a sewing machine, but she never lends me. Oh, I'm sorry. Find a second-hand one. And yeah, there's a lot of YouTube videos where people are showing you how to sew. I've been thinking of starting a course and put it on YouTube, but I've been too lazy to edit and everything. But yeah, there's lots of YouTube videos that teach beginning sewing. You can always find used sewing machines here in the USA. Thrift shops have a great sale. Yeah, we can work on that. If you also go and look at some of my older videos, it does show you how to sew. And I do plan on making how to make pajama pants a video soon. So where are you from? Yeah, we've been chatting about where we're all from. That would be interesting. India. Okay, okay. I don't really know about India, but maybe if you, I know there's quite a few people in India. It's quite a few Indian YouTubers as well. Maybe you can go on one of their, I don't know their names, but maybe you can go on one of their channels and ask them where you can get sewing lessons. But you know what? You can also sew by hand. I've sewn a lot of things by hand. Oh, put this in the washing machine. Look at that. It's terrible. We'll have to cut it off as well. There's Bernadette Banner. She's a YouTuber who shows how to sew by hand, and she's actually showing you all the stitches, which is, and her videos are really good, so that's one you can look at. And then when I don't have fabric, because sometimes I've visited India in the 90s, loved it. I was in I'll just find my band. Where was I? Bangalore and the province of Tamin, I think it was called that. And I know that there were quite a lot of fabric shops that you could get. Oh yes, Lifting Pins and Needles. She's brilliant. You're right, Becky. Tamil. I was in the province of Tamil. And yeah, there was some amazing fabric stores. Oops. This band is the wrong way around. Oh, your cottons in India. Ali Mac, yeah, she's also good. And Tomcat Stitchery, she's also good. But yeah, she pays for yeah, look at the free ones. Like I said, you don't need a machine to sew. You can literally do it by hand. There's some amazing, I was saying about the prints in India. I found some of the most beautiful cotton prints that I've ever seen in India. I would actually go back just for the fabrics. I've actually not been to Delhi. Yeah, I must maybe put that on my dream board and somewhere in the future that would be fun. Now, India is a beautiful country. Okay, I've now pinned my band on the top, and beforehand I went and I just ironed it in a centimeter. Yes, the Indian block prints, Debbie, is so beautiful. For hand sewing, I would also recommend Marion's World. She sews an entire coat by hand and has now been doing the most stunning floral embroidery on her coat. Oh, I don't know her. I must actually go and look her up. Marion's World. Awesome. So now I'm going to sew my waistband. And for the top of my waistband, I always give a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Yeah, I was telling the story yesterday. When I was living in Israel, I didn't have a sewing machine. And I missed sewing so much, I actually took an old sheet. Oh, wonderful. So anyway, I took an old sheet and I didn't know where to find like sewing cotton. So I pulled the threads from the cotton sheet and I used that to sew it with. And I really did it by hand. I just did French seams. Now French seams is when you sew a seam and then you flip it over, you cut it like a millimeter away from the where you sewed, and then you flip it over and then you sew it again, and then you don't need a overlocker or anything like that. So that works really well if you don't have a sewing machine or an overlocker. And I literally just did the whole thing by hand. Okay. So my waistband is curved. So remember, if you have a curved waistband or any curved spot, to do your cuts. And you do your cuts by, I do first the one layer. And I do them about, I usually use a thumb width apart. And I cut them all the way. Try not to cut where you sewed. And then when I get to where there's seam allowances, I go in and I cut it out completely, because that forms bulk in your waistband, which I don't particularly like. Okay, so let me keep going. So now I've cut the one side. Now the other side, I will go not on the same place where I cut. I'll cut in between, like there. So if you can see, I've cut there. So now I will cut halfway in the middle. Oh wow, Becky. Okay, so you learned in high school, but you did sewing when you were about 9. For me, my granny taught me, and my mom. My mom and my gran was seamstresses, and I would sit under the table playing with the scraps of fabric. And my mom said I was about 3.5, almost 4, and they were making a dress for an order for a lady in purple gingham. And I remember taking a needle. There was like needles with thread in on my mom's pillow, pincushion, and I took this needle with red thread and I cut it and I sewed the thing together. And I went to my bedroom and I fetched my doll and I put it on the doll. And my granny looked at my mom apparently and she said, "Oh, this kid's got potential." And she started teaching me. But she didn't teach me on the sewing machine. She taught me to do everything by hand. And she didn't, if my things weren't neat enough, she would let me unpick it. And she always said to me that your things have to be as tidy on the inside as on the outside. Oh, she was so strict. And I remember how many times I would go to my mom in tears, like, "Granny made me unpick my things." And then I would have to sew it again. And she just said, if it's worth sewing, then it's worth doing it properly. So, yeah, that's where I learned. How about the rest of you? How did you learn how to sew? And then my granny started teaching me, and I would read books. I read a lot of books. At that stage, there was not really YouTube. So when I was living in Germany, the lady I was working for had a lot of Bernard pattern books. And in the back of the Bernard pattern books, there's a lot of like almost like little courses, which I would read through. Okay, you can't be a perfectionist. You have to give yourself grace. And maybe this is the place where you can learn how to let go. Because perfectionism is a way of trying to control everything. And there is a place of perfectionism. That's not bad. But in sewing, perfectionism is going to drive you up the wall. Give yourself grace and just go for it. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. Nobody will know. It's how you practice. It's like learning how to play the piano or something. It's not perfect in the beginning, but you learn through time. So now I've cut them all, and my next step will be to iron all of these open. And my pockets, I need to cut the pockets still. Just to tidy them up. So this is the back waistband, and again I need to do my little cuts. I prefer using this. In high school we had a free period. Nancy showed me how to lay out the pattern, cut it out and sew it. She didn't know or tell me how to lengthen or shorten the crutch hang down. Bless me. That is so sweet, Diane. Oh. But that is how you start. I mean, my first things were terrible. I remember when I never really had finances to buy fabric. And when I finally had finances to buy fabric, I would buy this fabric, make the stuff. But nobody taught me about the grain line. My things would hang so badly, and I couldn't figure out why until I read all these books. And then I realized, oh, that's the problem. So it's like, you learn through practicing and doing. Oh, that's awesome. What a sweet story, Diane. I'm just now cutting the other side, and I see I folded it and sewed it in place. Oh, awesome. It might be that my granny told me about it, but I only started using patterns much later. I used to just cut out the things because it was my dolls. Hi, Kyra. Is it Kyra? Good morning. So I've done my cuts on the top of the waistband, and now if you look here, can you see it's a bit blown out the light? So that is bigger than that side, but I want it to fold this way. So if you have this part, let's try it from here. Yeah, that's light is better. then you're not just going to knip it like this. You're going to do little triangle knips like this, because then when it folds in, it's got place to move to, like that. It does make sense, because I do remember seeing people sew, but maybe you can start with just learning the basics with the in India, and then you can learn the rest on YouTube. There's lots of things on YouTube where you can really learn how to make stuff. And a linen coward set, oh, that sounds beautiful. I'm also still going to do that sometime in the future. But for now, I'm just going to take this tablecloth that I turned into pants and do that. I do have a linen pants and waistcoat cut out that I want to still finish. It's behind me. So that's part of this process of sewing live for 30 days, is to get all these things that's cut out, to get them done. I sat yesterday and today I think let me just see what, there's a lot of people who teach. Oh, you can always start with just online, because there's a lot of teaching classes. And I don't know if you have access, there's a online teaching skills thing called Craftsy, where you can literally learn from scratch. And they've got some courses. You do have to pay for it, but they are really good. But like I said, there is some free ones as well. So yeah, there's a lot of resources out there. So now I'm doing my little cuts like that. And we are all going to move to the iron board, because that's one of the things with sewing. If you want it to look professional, it's important to iron as you go. Okay, you take all of the things that needs to be ironed, and you're coming with me. Let's step over to the ironing board and put some lights on, because it's quite dark in this corner. Ooh. Oopsie. Yeah, pressing is one of the most important steps. And it's interesting how many, I sometimes watch YouTubers and they just skip it. And I freak out, because when I used to have a sewing school, and I would say to my students that you do not skip this step. And I had this one girl, she hated pressing. It was so funny. She would try anything not to go and press. And by the time, so she was with me for about 2 years, and by the time I left, because I left the village where I was staying, she came to me and she said, you know, I now press everything. The other one that was also a culprit, well, we've given you a lot of things that you can look at, where you can look for things. So just go and look at those resources that the people taught you, the ones you wrote down, and yeah, you will be surprised at how much you can find. But like I said, try Craftsy. It's an online website where you can learn different things. They've got so many courses that you can learn on, so that could be a very good place. Yeah, and Becky, it affects your end results. So anyway, this other girl, she still refuses to press. One day I looked at her, something that she might showed me, and I'm like, you have to press it. And she said, no, I'm not pressing. It's been a joke. It looks big on camera, but it's basically 3 by 3 meters. So if I look at some of the ones, the one that I had in the past, oh, it was so nice and big. But this one is quite cramped if I have where the cutting out table is and everything. But I'm very thankful to have this space, because it just makes it so easy to sew. It's really hard to sew if you don't have your sewing machine out. So I'm now just ironing my belt carriers, and when you do, so if you look here, that is where the seam is. And if you want it to lie flat, you lick your fingers and you just wiggle it, and then it comes out completely. And then you iron as you go. And I like to use steam. Oops. And of course I'm going to throw half the water on the ironing board. There we go. Did I switch it on? Yes, I did. Oh, I didn't put the heat on. And I have one of these covers on my iron board. It's called a silicone cover. And with that, you don't burn your fabrics. The only thing you will burn is silk lace. Silk lace is so delicate. You almost just steam it from afar, because you can even burn it with holes in it with steam. So now for the waistband, we are going to open this up and iron it flat on both sides. Like that. I'm not in the UK, I'm in South Africa, and I live in Cape Town. I'm loving it. I was planning on living in the UK, but that didn't work out. So I'm back in South Africa, where I'm from, and loving Cape Town. Cape Town is the best. So today I'm planning on finishing these pants while we all sew together. Are you guys trying to finish anything, or are you just doing some general things? I know some of you have shopping and stuff like that, which is no fun, and washing. But if you are sewing today, what are you planning on? Are you planning on finishing, or just to get some stuff done? Okay, this is front band is sewn in place, and now it's time for the back one. I see I haven't cut a part of this band. Let me just find my clippers. I love this sound when you cut fabric. Also when you cut out and the scissors goes, I think it's the most beautiful sound. And it's so funny, my dad, he used to love sleeping where I would sew, because he said my granny, the one who taught me. That was my mom's mom. And he would go and visit on the farm with them. And then he would lie in the sunroom where my granny would be sewing. And he said it was the best sleep he would get, because my dad's also not very good at sleeping. And he said when the sewing machine was going, he would have his best snoozes ever. Okay, let's get this done. Because then we are going to sew the side seams. Again, I don't know if you can see, but I am, let's just twist you around like that. I am just folding it in. Oh, it's hot. Let's put the steam off for now. As I go and let it just go a millimeter over where I sewed before. That gives you a very neat finish to your waistband. Ooh, you said you were making the little ones before. I like making drawstring bags. Do you make them with a round bottom, or do you just make square ones? Okay, this part's done. Let's go and sew the side seam. Oops. I'm going to leave you here for a bit. We're just going to fetch my stuff. Okay, the squared off ones. Those are nice. So the inside leg has been done. I'm now going to do the side seams, making sure I align my pockets. But first, I need to top stitch the pockets. So for the back pocket, I should have ironed it. You're going to fold the seam up. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to sew it. And then I'll do the top stitching afterwards. Oh, why are you coming loose here? Okay. Let's try again. Bubbles. Both the cats are over there, and they are so tired. I think it's the heat. It's really getting to them. What is going on here? There we go. Okay. Doesn't make sense. And I'm using pins because I made a mistake up here. I don't know what I did. But look, I thought I lined my pockets, but I didn't. So I will have to unpick the pocket and put it back in its place and hope for the best. I can see it's the back one. Darn. Oh well, we'll just pin everything in place for now and go and do the top stitching. Still working with these blunt pins. I should actually just throw them away. The top stitching for the back. So this, I don't want to iron there at the moment because there's some dirt from, this was a tablecloth and I need to unpick these pockets. But I'm just going to do the top stitching just before the pockets. So I want it, I don't really want a top stitching to show, it's more to keep the seam in place. So I'm letting my foot touch on the edge of the line and then I'm just sewing. I'm going to keep going until I get to the other side and pulling as I go, and that prevents it from making a rift there. And the back part is getting an elastic, so I'm not going to understitch, but for the front waistband I am going to do some understitching. And I like to do my understitching from the top, so I will do it on this side, not on that side. And I'm just going to take my little frimmels and or pieces that I've cut and move them to that side as I go. For the understitching, I stitch 1 millimeter from the edge. Okay, let's unpick the back pockets. So like I said, I sewed them in the wrong place. Or did I put the front ones in the wrong place? I think the front ones are in the wrong place. If I look at this, yep. I don't know how I did that because I did move my pattern markings, but apparently that was not enough. Ruth, okay, have fun at your meeting. Thank you for visiting. To sew poppies in a banner for tomorrow. Bye. That sounds like fun. I lost my quick and pick. Luckily I've got another one. I love unpicking with these ones. So sadly I've done my overlocking already. So when I unpick that, you see there's 2 lines. I cut both lines. And then first I'll do the middle line and just lift it up. The middle line and then pull that out. and then I do the second line of the outside line of the overlocking. So you just lift it up and then pull that out. And that way, if you do the middle line, the outside line first, then it's much harder than if you start with the middle one. There we go. Pulling it out. And there it is. Your overlocking is undone. And now there's a stitch line. To unpick that, I cut every 5th stitch on the one side. And then on the other side, you can just lift it up and pull it, and it will all come out. And one is done. Let's do the other one. Let's sew this one down as well. Oh, I did. Again, I cut every 5th stitch. I'm going to do the straight stitch line first. Okay, and then the overlocking, starting with the middle line. First cut both lines. You know, that's the needle, where the needle goes down into the fabric, and then pull out the middle one. And then pull out the outside one. This one is not going as smooth as the other one. I think I've ironed it maybe. Okay, there we go. And this pocket is loose. Okay, I see it's 59 minutes. And yes, thank you for everyone who spent time here. I hope you got some sewing done. I'm very happy with my progress. Even if it's slow, at least I'm getting stuff done. And I'm hoping that you are also happy with your progress. Thanks for watching. I need to go and do some shopping now before the shops close. It's now 5 o'clock, and yeah, I think that one closes later, but I still need to go and get some other things done as well. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time. This works better for me because it's a bit cooler in here, especially now that it's summer. Let me know if it works for you guys. I would otherwise we'll go in. Yay, awesome, Diane, I'm so proud of you. So if this time works for you, let me know. Otherwise I'll move back to the other time. It's just so hot. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Is this fine? Okay, thank you, Becky. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And listen, I've been just one more thing, I've been posting these videos, but I can't get, I don't know how to get, maybe Becky you can tell me. I'll message you how to get the comments to show afterwards. Okay, that's better for you. How to get the comments to show afterwards, because we have such lovely conversations, but if I can't figure it out, then it's just going to stay like this. Thanks a lot. See you guys tomorrow.